Hello YouTube, it's Lindy. I am here with my 1 week post-op update. Kind of having a weird, crappy day today. Well, it's not crappy, it started off crappy. I'll tell you about it. So this morning I got up and I was meeting a friend for coffee, so I have to have my son to the bus by 7:45 in the morning. And then I was meeting a friend straight after that because she drops her kids at the bus as well. So I was meeting her for a coffee. So I was up and getting ready and not just driving him to the bus in my pyjamas like I do sometimes. So he's really hard to get up in the morning, and I'm often yelling at him to get up, and I have to storm in and go, right, if you don't get up now, and do that kind of thing. And it's really a drag. I'm really over it. And it's always a rush. And anyway, last night he'd asked if he could have a bacon and egg sandwich for breakfast. And I went, okay, great. Because I don't really feel like because I haven't been cooking meals so much for myself and that kind of thing. I feel like I've been neglecting him in the nurturing, motherly cooking for him kind of way. And he's had to make his own things a few times, which is fine. He's 13, that's fine, it's good. I want him to do that kind of thing. But anyway, I thought that'll be nice, and I'll get up and I'll get dressed because I'm going out anyway and make him brekkie. And then I woke him up, and then I called out to him, and then I went in, and then I went in again, and then I finally stormed in and went, right, if you don't get up now, And then he was like, anyway, we ended up having this huge argument. I yelled at him. I got really upset, stormed into my bedroom and slammed the door like grown up. And I felt really bad for yelling at him. And I know he felt awful. It was just awful. I just felt terrible for making him start the day that way. And so anyway, I calmed down, and then I came out and made his lunch, and he'd kind of made his sandwich, and I went in, and he was sitting in his room all sad and just eating his breakfast. I just felt like the worst mother in the world, and I just, I went in to apologise, and I just felt just so terrible. Anyway, I started crying, and then, and I apologised to him, and then I was just really emotional, and I'm getting emotional now as well. Not a good look. But yeah, it's just weird. I don't know, maybe it's just like a post-surgery emotional, or I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, I don't know. It's like normally I eat my emotions. That's why I'm overweight, because I'm a big emotional eater. And I think not really having eaten for the last 3 weeks and anticipating how it's all going to be, and how I'm only going to be able to eat half a cup, and like I'm not an unhealthy eater. Like I can be, but I'm really into cooking food and making things from scratch, and I don't like buy a lot of processed food and that kind of thing, except for the last probably year, I would say, when I've gotten bigger and more overweight, and then I've kind of really turned to things like chips and those kind of savoury things a lot. But before then I didn't have them in the house, and I kind of have the last year or so. And anyway, I think I was really severely emotionally eating the last year or so. So now when I'm feeling emotional, I can't eat anything, and I don't know, I'm just a big sooky lala at the moment. So I knew and I know that this is going to be one of my biggest hurdles, and I think plus I hadn't lost any weight. I did weigh myself today, and I think I have lost 2 kilos since surgery. So I think when I went into surgery, the day before surgery, I weighed myself, and I was 134.8, and today I was 132.8. So I think I have lost some weight, but I had been getting really upset, because it's like I'm just on liquids, I'm hardly having anything, and I hadn't lost weight yet, and so I was, starting to get a bit frustrated with that. And I think just the whole thing, I'm, being at home, not really having any purpose, and I've got things to do at home, like I've got a whole spare room full of things that I need to sort out, but I can't lift anything, and I think the whole thing's just a bit frustrating, and I think definitely not turning to food, like sort of lying around a lot and spending time in bed or, you know, watching movies and things is when normally I would want to eat something, and I can't eat anything. And then I had something the other day that was like a Philly cheese with chocolate, just a really tiny little tub, and I bought some and I went, okay, I can have that because that will melt in my mouth, and then I just went, that's emotionally eating. Like I can't do that. I've got to stop doing that, you know. And I did that last night, and I don't, you know, it's when I saw the psychologist before, you know, a couple of weeks ago, and she said, most people find something to do with their hands, find a craft or something. It's like, I'm sorry, but I'm not a crafty person. I've tried knitting and crocheting and all that kind of thing, and I don't have the patience, and it's just not me. It's not something I do, you know. I don't have a TV, so, you know, if I'm watching stuff, it's on my computer, and I'm usually in bed. I mean, maybe if I started sitting in the lounge room, and where I am now, and this is my lounge room. You can't see. Then I don't know. Maybe I need to do something. I need to do something differently. But I think because this is such a kind of a full-on and emotional process anyway, and it's such a huge life change, and then the way that you would normally cope with those life changes is by eating, stuffing your face, you know, and that's all I want to do. I just want to feed my face. It's not that I'm particularly hungry. I am getting hungrier. I am feeling hunger now, but it's just about feeding my face, you know, and it is all emotional. It's not a physical thing. And so that's my biggest battle. And just, you know, feeling terrible for taking it out on, you know, a poor kid. You know, it's just him and I in the house, and so he bears the brunt of that kind of thing, which is, you know, it's not good. It's not fair on him. And he's a gorgeous boy. So try and stop crying now. I went out. So I dropped him off, and I had a coffee with my friend, and I was okay, and it was good, and we had a laugh, and we spent about 2 hours and had a couple of coffees. I had a soy latte. And so that was really good because I hadn't really done anything social for a couple of weeks. And then when I got home, I'd spoken to the nurse from the weight loss surgery centre, and I always have trouble saying that. I don't know why. Should I just call it the weight loss clinic? I don't know. My surgeon's office. She called me on Tuesday to see how I was going, and told me that I could take my dressings off on Thursday, which is today. And so when I got home, I had a shower, and before I had a shower, I took the dressings off. And they honestly, I was really surprised. They look really, really good. It's amazing. Actually, I might show you. Sorry, that was a really bad view, sorry. I'll try and show you. If you can see that. Oh, showing my boobs there. That's the bigger one. Those ones with the tape on them, I'm too scared to take the tape off, but they're just little. I hope that will, maybe I won't be able to post this until I've censored it to see that I didn't show any private parts. But yeah, they're much smaller, and for some reason I thought that they had a stitch in them, but they don't have a stitch in them. I guess the port ones, and I thought I would only have one big port scar, but there seems to be two there. I think they had internal sutures. Anyway, I just imagined it to look a lot more gruesome than it did, and it looks okay. So I guess I should be celebrating, really.